What's up, YouTube? Welcome out to Take a Hike with Jim and our final Tuesday live before we launch on the AT. We're gonna get some things set up here real quick, as you know, and everything. We are right on time. This time, not late, not early, but right on time, right? So, which is kind of different for us. I don't know how I feel about being exactly on time. Chat is open, so the way this works, what you've talked about, what you voted on, is what we discuss. And this week was a little bit for the last Tuesday Night Live. I wanted to have a little bit of fun, and I wanted to throw a few things out there that was a little bit different this week, right? So we're going to look at some things. I threw the questions out there. Some of you caught on to the first one. Some of you done the second one. But to catch on to the first one, you have to understand it was a typo, right? It wasn't nothing sneaky. I was trying to be, and I tried to pull it off that way, but it really wasn't. It really wasn't nothing tricky. It was a simple, up in the air, really honest to God question. It ended up working out pretty funny though, so I kind of like that. But anyway, so we're gonna go down here and we're going to click over to our post and go from there. As far as Tuesday night's last live, right? Tuesday night's last live. And what would Tuesday night's last live be without a cup of double Java? Right here, right? So we only got one more live coming. That's going to be this Friday, the 27th. We have one more live coming. That's going to be subscribers appreciation. And then the following week is the week before the AT. We're taking that whole week and just kind of consuming and wrapping everything around our family and finalizing gear and doing everything we need to do. So the chat is open. So we're going to dive in tonight. We're going to have some open-ended questions tonight. That was the game plan, and I put some things out there for you folks, just kind of giving people a few minutes to kind of get the notification that, hey, we're here. If they want to jump in chat, they can. So this week's question was pretty good, so I said it's that time again. Read the whole post. Let's find out what people really think. Here's your final Tuesday night question. You vote, we listen, we talk about it live. You know how we roll, right? And I worded this wrong, and I didn't realize it until it was too late, and I couldn't edit it, so I made another post, and we'll go from there. So the numbers are going to be a little bit obscured, so we're going to use this one just as a brief thing, and we'll go by that, and we're going to use both of them as. So the first question that was actually asked in the typo was, will Jim make it to his 2026 through hike? And I put, because I can't see who votes and everything, you're not going to hurt my feelings and everything, and we go from there, right? So in saying that, in that one, that's not what I was supposed to say, but it worked out that way anyway, so we're going to have some fun with this one while we wait for some people to come on, then we're going to talk about the other, right? We had 13 votes. So out of 13 votes, 8% said there's no way they see me even starting the trail, right? What's up, my biking journey? Good evening, Jim. Good evening to you too, my friend and my friends. So 8% of the original vote said, hey, there is no way that they even see me making it to Amicalola Falls to start this thing, right? They don't see it that way. So let's touch on that real quick, right? Let's touch on that real quick. I'm not hating, whatever. So we got our last of our go, no-goes today from the doctor, right? We got our last of our go, no-goes. And we got a few more just like little side doctor appointments, but nothing for the go, no-go type of thing that we're going to get checked out and to make sure on everything. But everything looked great. The doctor said the numbers and everything was fine. So is the Lord willing, the creek don't rise unless I drop over dead. AT Walk and Talk's vehicle has a malfunction. Something goes wrong. That 8% is going to be proven wrong because Jim should make it to Amicalola safe and sound. The Lord willing and the creek don't rise. In Georgia on the 9th, right? Yeah, on the 9th is when we will be in Amicalola at the lodge itself and everything. So, yeah, go from there. And then I got the honest percentage here. This is an honest percent. It was like 23% says, I think he can, but they're not sure that I would. They're not even sure that I would make it out to the Appalachian Trail, or to the Amicalola Falls, to the Appalachian Trail. And we all know that that's not what this question was about. I'm just having a little bit of fun before it goes on, and we'll dive in a little bit deeper in just a second, right? But so, in saying that, health-wise and being that everything's going on in my family, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That's not what people voted on, though. So let's dive into the real thing. Let's go ahead and dive into the real thing, all right? Let's dive right into it. Let's get in. So, we fixed the post, and once again, it was for the final Tuesday Live. Will Jim make it from Georgia to Maine on his through hike? And here's the thing. I don't take it personal. I take personal criticism fairly well and everything. I even had fun with one of the followers out there, and I know who it was that made the comment on that. I can't see, but I got a pretty good bet who did. So, anyway, in saying that, let me give you the options of what was there. It was yes, no, I think he can, but don't know if he will. Not sure either way, but he needs to trim that mustache. Yeah, mustache right there, right? I got one subscriber that was like, for the love of God, man, trim the mustache. And I put no. Then I put it'll be trimmed before I go on trail. And I plan on getting it trimmed today. I planned on getting it trimmed and done today, but I didn't make it down to the barbershop. We had so many things to do today. And then, you know, with the snowstorm and everything, I didn't get a chance to get to the barbershop, get that taken care of. But the mustache will be taken care of. Rest assured. And so will the facial hair somewhat a little bit. But we'll keep the mustache a little bit trimmed up for you there, all right? So it didn't fall on deaf ears. So, I mean, it's a very personal thing, right? It's a very personal question. It's a very personal thing. A lot of people, I don't know that they really wanted to vote or whatever. Like I said, it don't hurt my feelings either which way. If you combine the two numbers, overwhelmingly the supporters thought that I would, in fact, make it. And then there was a percentage that didn't. But it's a tricky thing, right? Because, you know, when you throw out this final question for this final topic, it comes down to really what are going to be my limitations. And I'm going to face some. And I think that I want to go through those. I kind of want to address a few things of those now as we go. And one of those things is I didn't get what I feel is the proper shakedown hikes, right? I don't feel that I got the proper shakedown hikes when it come to doing 2, 3, and 4 days out in the woods and doing that thing and doing things. I didn't get to go back out for a second shakedown with Wolfie. I didn't get to do another shakedown type of thing with Jason. I didn't get to really do a whole lot of stuff other than my backyard and the one overnighter on the Greenbrier Valley River Trail, which the elevation was null. That don't even really count other than just camping out. Last time I cut my hair was a week before the thru hike in 2019. I'm not cutting the hair, but I am going to trim the mustache and the beard a little bit. But in saying that, you know, so I feel like the proper shakedown process. So I could see from somebody from outside looking in, that could be one of my limitations to hold me back, right? It really could. Another one of my limitations, I think, per conversations with everybody, is my elevation training, right? Because we didn't have a whole lot of elevation thing here. Thought I was doing really good as far as training in the gorge and doing what I could do from around here. But at the end of the day, I feel like I needed to get out of that comfort box and go to a few places north of here that would have been a few hour drives and everything. But still, I think the elevation training would have helped me out tremendously. I don't feel that I got the proper elevation training and that I needed. So I can see a lot of people's numbers. But on the second vote, out of 13 votes, 54 of you said you feel that, like, based on what you've seen, based on hearing me talk and different things, from watching the videos and the gear videos and the lives. So that's what all this was based around. 54% of you think, yes, that I can and will make it. And I thank you for that support. I've put a lot into all of this as far as gear and everything. Don't worry, we're going to get to another topic here in a minute. We're going to get to something else other than this. But I feel very, very good about the gear. I'm comfortable with it. We've went through it together. I feel very comfortable about my layout and different things, everything's going on. So yeah, now there was only 8% that said no, that they don't think I can make it. And hey, and here's the thing. I see Springer to Neil's Gap, a good shakedown, Brock says. You know, there's 8% out there that don't think I'll make it. And hey, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I've watched the AT this year spit out several of the people that I've been watching. I mean, it's chewed them up and it has spit them out. So it's like for the 101, for the 101st year, for the 101. The AT, it's not holding nothing back, man. It's throwing everybody everything. The Smokies have been taking people out, baby. Been taking them out, and then coming down to Mount Crossing, been taking people out. So we got to be very careful and watch what we're doing. So I understand the whole 8% of the no thing, because let's face it, I'm fat. My age is against me. My health is against me. I'm a little bit heavier as far as gear than what most people would be. So even though I'm trying to keep that down, but yeah, so, you know, go from there. So, but like, it's still dig into what Brock said about Springer to Nils Gap is a good shakedown. There's a lot of people, and I think that there, our friend from across the big pond there, I think that he had said that this is going to be his first shakedown is when he is actually on the AT as well. So, yeah, so Springer to Nils Gap, good shakedown. By the time you get to Nils Gap, One Adventures told me, Brock's told me on here, Chase has told me, One Adventures told me, Long Distance Hikes told me. There's so many people that's told me that by the time you get to Nils Gap, you're going to know what you want to throw in the hiker box to get rid of, and what you want to upgrade, and what you want to send home, and what you're going to start dialing in your pack right then and there of don't need this, don't need this, don't need this, don't want that, and just boom, whatever, sending it home, throwing it in the hiker box, whatever you got to do. So yeah, so you know, I get there. 31% of the people came in with, I think he can, but I don't know if he will. They have the thing to know that I can, and they think I have that everything it takes to make it. But I think that in that vote that I lacked a lot of training resources and training of what others did. And I may have came off cocky in some of the videos and different things, especially some of the lives. Didn't mean to, because I'm just going to be honest with you. I know the Appalachian Trail is going to be extremely tough. I know it's going to be extremely hard. I know there's going to be conditions like me and One Adventure had talked the other night on the phone. There's going to be times that, like, in the words of Forrest Gump, I've seen every types of rain. Tile and Trail, got my final shakedown next week, and then I'm getting Trail Fever, Something Fierce. I am Tile and Trail. I'm right there with you. I'm getting Trail Fever, Something Fierce. I don't have another shakedown to go. I don't, cat knocking things off the counter. I don't have a final shakedown before my go-to or my go. As far as the Appalachian Trail, I don't want to kind of risk anything health-wise or anything at this point, or gear-wise or whatever. I'm doing some stuff here in the yard, practicing with some stuff and seeing what I am doing, what I'm not doing. But other than that, yeah, I just don't feel like that I gave myself that proper opportunity, though. So between, like he said, between Springer and Nils Gap, that's going to be a good shakedown for me on that. But I can see from my training videos and my different videos and the different things where people are like, yeah, he's got the spirit to do it. But is physically his body going to hold up? Is his training going to hold out? The gear will make it from what I got. I got backups to my backups without being too heavy. So I think as far as gear, we, you know, like I said, we got that and go from there. But excuse me, got the burps from that weight loss shot today. Sip a double Java. But anyway, so, you know, yeah, I mean, there was so much leading up to this. I kind of wanted to do tonight only the question and things too, but I kind of wanted to get into some of y'all stuff into some real time. I want to put out there if y'all have, like, I'm all the time asking y'all questions. Y'all got any questions of me or whatever? And not obviously about the trail, but like, you know, the different things. Like, if you got a health question or am I ready question or whatever question, I don't care. You can put up whatever you want to over chat and we'll talk about it. But I kind of wanted to get into a little bit of backstory because this cat is driving me nuts. Give me a minute. I kind of wanted to get into a little bit of backstory. She's scratching, clawing, everything. Kind of want to get a little bit of backstory of some things, right? So, have you seen earlier, back in spring of 2018, I was involved in a horrible accident. A lot of me was burnt. Like 35% was third-degree burns. And the flash rate, not the explosion itself, but the flash rate of the explosion was equivalent to 11 sticks of dynamite's what the doctor said. So, you know, I had to learn how to walk again. My wife had to take care of me as far as like like a kid. Everything you do that you can't do, she had to do for me. And go from there. So, I had that. I've overcome having my heart stop 2 years ago, literally, as I was training for trail. And I was working at the time, actually, in a barbershop, and had to be taken to the hospital, shocked, put my heart back into rhythm, different things. So, I've came through so much to get to these last 12 days. And like Tyler Trail said, I'm itching. I am itching. My backpacking journey. Sometimes life just gets in the way. When family needs you home, you get home or you get sick or hurt. That could be a big reason not to finish. It can. So let's talk about that a little bit. We know that my mother is going through what she's going through. The one thing that we have not put out there that we just found out, because everybody knows that my mom's going through the dementia, that type of thing, and as rough as that is, and I'm dealing with the whole uncle thing as well. The other day, my wife got some imaging. Her doctor wanted her to have some imaging and tests done, and she did. And they found a spot on both sides, but on her thyroid, on both sides of her thyroid. And I will be actually out on trail, and she goes to see if they're going to biopsy that or not. There's a chance that they could biopsy it to see if it's benign or to see if we need to do what we need to do, or they've put us on medicine. So we don't know what the case is. They just know that the radiologist report read, hey, this is suspicious enough that it needs to be looked at really, really closely. So we got that going on. We haven't put that out to nobody yet because we're holding on to faith and hope of what's going on there, that everything's going to work out when it comes to the spots on her thyroid or whatever, and that all comes back benign and that comes back fine. So family can, get in the way, sickness, illness, or like you can get hurt. I've seen people twist knees so far, twist ankles. There was a report of one gentleman out there that supposedly, I guess, popped his Achilles. I don't know if y'all heard about that or not. I saw a video of another hiker talking about it. I didn't see the video of that hiker talking about it. But apparently his Achilles popped, which, you'd have to have a pretty weak Achilles, whatever. They got him out of there, I guess. But he's going to be down for, what, 6, 8, 12 months, 18 months, something like that, depending. Is that even something that you come back from? There are things that could hurt you, that could bring you off trail. Lyme disease could bring you off trail. As far as sickness, different things. So you just got to watch. And there's a whole lot of reasons not to finish. I was talking to B, as y'all saw her last video came out before she's getting ready to go on trail, and she is so nervous. B is so nervous. I'm so proud of that young lady, right? She is. I'm just going to be honest with you. I would not have had the courage at her age, even as a man. I would have, and it's not a man-woman thing, but I'm just saying, at 18 years old, 19, coming out of school, I would have not had the courage to do what she did and what she's doing and stepping out on this. It took me like at least a year or two to gain up to the courage to go to basic training. So, but in saying that, I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of B, and I was watching her video and different things, and she's talking about budget and people don't mean to be bad, and people don't mean it in a negative way, but a lot of times for us new thru hikers or people attempting thru hike, it can come off as very much as intimidating, right? When people come in and they talk about, well, you got to have $3,000 or $4,000 a month budget, and stuff like that, and we're looking at our wallet going, damn, we got like $1,000 maybe, so and people, so it can be a little bit intimidating and different things. So I try to put her mind at peace of, hey, you can still go out there, you still have a good time, you can still do all these things and everything, and I'm not trying to put down the hostels. I can't wait to stay some of these Above the Clouds, Green Dragon, Around the Bend, Uncle Johnny's, the Hilton. I think the Hilton's actually a shelter though, not a hostel. But there's all kind of places that I want to stay. Standing Bear. There's all kind of places that I just want to stay. So I'm not putting down hostels by any means. I think what the men and women and what the people do for hikers and hostels, excuse me, I had to burp, is amazing. I'm not trying to put them down whatsoever, but at the same time, let's talk about it. Finances can bring you off trail. If you get out there partying and spending, and you get out there, you know, every time you turn around, I have someone, and I'm not going to say whom, I have someone that was recently at one of the hostels, and yeah, it was like $50 for the night or whatever, or 55, 60, whatever. But in one day, you know, or 2 days that they was there, by the time you put the stays in and different things and the resupplies, and then they paid for the slack packing and stuff like that, there was like, we spent like over $245, $250 in one day or within 2 days. And it's just like, holy cow, man. I mean, that's a big hit to anybody's budget. I mean, if I spend $245, I have eaten a whole week's worth of my food budget and $45 into my next week's food budget. So, you know, I got to kind of watch what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do have a hostel budget, but that would be digging into my food. That food budget would be digging in and taking that over. So I was just kind of putting her mind at ease and different things. So she's getting ready. She may even already be out there. She may have put the video out like Lady L did. Lady L's on trail. She's killing it, right? Saw it on Ramdino. She's already at Mount Crossings, probably past that actually, which puts her starting about when I said I thought she would, around Valentine's Day or shortly thereafter. So she's doing really good. I'm very proud of her. She's got her nice little tramley sitting there walking with her. She's still a big troublemaker. And if you want to know where she's at on trail, just go to AT at nighttime, put your ear out there. The loudest snore, that's the Lady L right there. I'm telling you, she snores louder than anybody. I don't even know she snores at all. But we're just going to spread that rumor, right? You know how rumors work. Anyway, so to say that, I'm very proud of them. Hiking on a Prayer, she's out there now. These folks are out there. They need our support. They need us to click on there and encourage them and not tell them, hey, you're spending too much, or hey, you're not spending enough, or hey, you should have done this with gear, or hey, you shouldn't have done that with gear, you know, or whatever. Because at the end of the day, you know, this can be very intimidating. This can be very, very intimidating. And so yeah, but to readdress my backpacking journey things, there's a lot of things that can happen when you're out on trail. And I'm not naive to that. I'm not naive to that. I keep saying that there's only several ways I'm going to come off trail, but here's the thing. One adventurer will back me up. If they was in here in the room, they may be, but they'll back me up. One of the things I said, and that's AKA Donkey Kong. I said the other day on the phone to one adventurer, I said, hey, look, check it out. You live to hike another day. If I got to come off trail, I got to come off trail. You live to hike another day. But I can't go into this with the mentality that I have an out every single day, because if I do, I'll beat myself into submission. And that's just not me, you know, and I don't want to beat myself into submission. So anyway, until somebody posts something else, let's dig into some topics and everything as we're going on. You know, the last several months, I think since October, November, folks, you've helped me deal with fears. You've helped me deal with gear. You've helped me deal with the ins and the outs, the mileage. You've helped me deal with budgets. You've helped me deal with so much of the Appalachian Trail that it's not even funny. I watched a bunch of videos, and there's a bunch of things that I thought I knew. And then after talking to some of the thru hikers, I found out it wasn't the way I thought it was. And then just trying some stuff on my own, I'm figuring out that there's a lot harder things out there. But I know that as we gear up in 12 days, that we are going to make this our hike, not just my hike, and that we're going to get through it together. And we're going to stand, like I told B, we're going to stand on top of Maine. I'll see you on Maine. See you at Mount Katahdin. See you at Mama K. You know what I mean? And go from there. So, yeah, so for the people, for 54% of the people said yes, I appreciate you. For the 8% that said no, I appreciate you. For the 31% of people that said, I think he can, but I don't know if he will, I appreciate you. For the one person that said that I need to trim my mustache, I appreciate you, but really, dog, come on now. Nobody's talking about your armpit hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Just put it out there. I'm just joking. So, you know, hey, folks, what's up, Hike with Mike? So, for the 54% that said yes, thank you so much and everything. It means a lot coming into it and getting that kind of support. So final little touch gear changes. Okay. That we've made. We went ahead and went with the new, and I still haven't really done anything with it. For our box, we've done away with the Army solar charger thing, and we went with the MB 20,000 Gen 3 we showed you the other day on video. Still ain't done a review on it because I ain't had time to take it out the box, do anything. The Nightcore battery, we've made that as a change. So we're going to be taking that out with us to charge our cell phone, our watch, our headlamp, our air mattress blowy up thing. And I got one other thing that I haven't showed nobody that takes charge. I'm waiting to get on trail to do that because I don't know necessarily I'm taking it with me. And to be honest, I just don't want a bunch of people going, well, you should take that. It's good for camping, but it's not good for anything else. So I don't want to hear it. So I haven't put it out there if I decide to take it or if I don't decide to take it. I was always taking a tarp. Everybody knows. I've had people tell me drop the tarp. I've dropped weight in tarp. I've tried to drop the tarp. I've always come back to wanting a tarp for the footprint and for different things, which led me to watching a bunch of videos. And now the regular tarp is out. It is gone. But in its place, it's a little bit heavier, but it's okay, is my actual hiking tarp that I will be taking. And I will be able to do some things with that. I will be working with a local gentleman. I'm going to get with him, and he's going to be showing me some different things. I've been working on knots as far as ridgeline tiles, tree tiles, tight line, trucker hitches, all these different kind of knots and different things. Because down the road, if I get the opportunity and the weather breaks and I don't got to have an underquilt and everything, I might give hammocking another try, just to be honest with you. But I'm not going to do it in the wintertime where I got to have another underquilt, more blanket, more stuff. So we'll see. So that tarp's going to give me the chance to maybe try some hammocking. It's also going to give me the chance to work on some, AKA in my downtime, because not all of my zeros are going to be in town, right? I know a lot of people take a lot of zeros in town. They take a lot of zeros at hostels. And I'll take zeros in towns, and I'll take zeros in hostels. But there's going to be sometimes I'm going to want to take a zero out in the woods and different things, and it's kind of goose fraba, if you will. If you know, right? Kind of breathe it in and kind of take it in and bring myself back to center and work on some things and some personal things. So while I'm out there, we're going to try some different things with this tarp. And we'll try to get some video of it and different stuff like that. And, I got me some stuff from Amazon to put with it and everything. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that could it be a luxury item? Yes. Could it be a survival item? Yes. Could it be something I end up just using and sending a tent home? Yes, and go from there. Hike with Mike. For those like me that have prescription glasses, it's always important to back up an extra pair of glasses. Very important. So I do have prescription glasses. They're bifocals. I do have those. But I have felt that my Walmart or CVS readers do just as good for me, right? So I do have, because it's basically the same prescription and don't have that line, I can see fine like this and I can see fine like that. But when I'm looking at my phone right here, I know there's words there. But without putting these up, I can't tell you what any of them are. I haven't always been there, and I haven't always been that way. It was after my second heart attack that kind of started happening. So I don't know if there was blood vessels up there in the eyeballs or whatever, but they changed and I actually had to get reading glasses and stuff. So like you said, yeah, if you lose your glasses, you're in trouble. So I got a backup pair. I got this pair, and I got one other pair, and then like I said, they're cheap. Like I can grab a 1.75 or 2.0 pair from any CVS, Walmart, whatever. And those will actually work for me if I lose my actual bifocals that I really don't like wearing. I'm supposed to wear them all the time. I don't like wearing them. I'd rather take these up and put them down constantly, right? But glasses is an important thing and everything too. I don't have no like dentures or spacers or little teeth or anything like that. So that I got false teeth that I pop in or pop out. So we're good as far as that goes there too. But yeah, I can see where that could be a little bit of an issue. So yeah, the hiking tarp's coming. So that was one of the changes. Luckily, my wife works for the eye doctor, like Mike says, so I have several pair of glasses, and I got really bad eyes. So, hey, you can't beat that. Well, and plus that, too, has to come in town, so if I can find American Legions provide glasses to veterans, too. So if I can find an American Legion and everything, and I'm like, hey, I need a pair of glasses, they'll hook me up real quick and in a hurry. And so would the VA. The VA would hook me up real quick in a hurry, too. But like I said, I can get away with some of the over-the-counter Walmart stuff. Another change in the gear list, we're only taking 2 pairs of regular socks, which is my nylon, my new nylon polyester style breathable socks with the NGs underneath them. And I'm only taking 1 pair of the wool darn tough socks. So I'm going to have to be trading out socks and stuff quite occasionally when I go to stores and buying packs and doing whatever, I'd say, because 2 pairs is not going to make it the entire trail, nor is 1 single pair of NGs, I would think, would make it. And foot care is very important. So, yeah, but I can't wear wool all the time. It's what's causing a lot of the hot spots. We figured that part out along with the braces, and now we got new shoes and go from there. Wearing the Hokas, my knees started bothering me a little bit again. I'm still wearing the Hokas because I really love them, and they're really comfortable and everything. So I'm looking at my knee. If I need a knee brace, pick it up at Walmart, whatever the case may be. The Lions Club does a lot of charity for supplying glasses to kids. They do vision checks for free at our school every year. They're a good group of guys, man. Good group of people. You can also turn cell phones in. I didn't know if you knew this or not. You turn used cell phones, don't matter how old they are. You can turn, except like the old car bag phones. Don't do that. Although that was a pretty badass phone back in the day. Yeah, don't do that. You can turn those phones in to the Lions Club as well, your old cell phones, and they will take them. They got contracts and deals nationally with companies that will go in, they put up-to-date technology, they refurbish them, whatever, and they send them out to soldiers who are overseas with minutes on them so they can call their families. They do that, or they used to. So I was always big about getting people, instead of selling their cell phones, to give them to the local Lions Club here in Oak Hill, by God, West Virginia. So that was the other change. We added some different things after talking to one adventure the other night. Some stuff in our first aid kit and stuff we took out. Some other things we've got in there. Luca tape, I couldn't really get my hands on. I guess Amazon order, whatever. So I got some regular KT tape, which Luca tape don't stretch as much, and KT tape, I'm only doing smaller strips and different things if I need to. I'm not so much worried about a lot of duct tape. That's going to be wrapped around my pole, so I'll have a little bit of it and go from there. Chase said NG toe liners last like 300 miles. I just did a video on this. Easy pickup at Outfitters. Yeah, I ain't had a chance to watch. Like, I caught, like, as far as videos yesterday and today, I saw you upload a video, Chase. But as far as videos yesterday and today, I got to watch a little bit of Pappy's coming out of the Tennessee hike. And there was one other one I watched that it's her like day 1, day 2, day 3 type of thing on the AT. I watched a few minutes back, but I ain't had a lot of chance to watch videos. I've had a lot of last minute stuff, legal stuff I'm getting done, paperwork I'm getting done, make sure all the stuff is dress, make sure my insurance is up, make sure my insurance is up to date, make sure I have everything taken care of. I ain't had a whole lot of time. Plus, just being kind of just chilling, man, just chilling. Ace bandage roll is good to have, especially hiking in rocky areas. I plan on taking about a half of an ace bandage roll and kind of cutting it in half and kind of taking that. I didn't plan on taking a full ace bandage or like. I even thought about, a kid style ace bandage. Sorry, I'm really tired. I've been up like since 6 o'clock this morning. Like I said, we just had a lot going on. But ace bandage rolls will be really good. I am taking a pair of compression socks it's designed for my heels, my ankles, and the mid part of my feet. So I'm taking those as well. Yeah, so I mean, be honest with you, I think that when I get my new shoes, I'm just gonna get some new NGs, and I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple pair of new socks with it as I go. and go from there. And like I said, where I'm not able to wear darn tough all the time, that kind of hurts me because I have like 3 or 4 pair of those, and they're dang good socks. I just can't wear them all the time, right? So that's all the changes as far as last minute gear changes. The biggest one being that hiking tarp. Do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yes. Am I taking it? Yes. Is it something that'll probably get sent home? I don't know. Probably. I'm not a big book reader. I can read books, but I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I can listen to audiobooks. I can watch a lot of YouTube and different things like that. But so I'm not going to be having like a paper book and a lot of paper books and stuff with me and stuff like that. So in downtime, I want stuff to do. And I know people's like, well, you're going to have plenty to do between resupplying and doing laundry. And I get it. I understand. But like I said, there's going to be times that I'm going to be out in the woods doing a zero versus in town or at a hostel. Or even maybe even a Nero. So I just, kind of try some new things. Expand your knowledge. And that's the big thing, right? And I put out a post today. And look, I'm trying to become one of these ultralight people. I really am. And eventually I want to get my summer weight down to where it's 10, 11 pounds. I really do. My winter weight, it's not going to be nowhere close. But in saying that, I understand what they're saying when it comes to tarps, hiking tarps, and bivvies, that there's so many other lightweight options out there that there pretty much no need to have them. I get it. I just love them, right? I love them. And if I'm going to use a bivvy, I'm going to have to learn how to use a tarp. And what better place to learn to use a tarp than the AT? Just saying. I mean, if you can learn to use a dang tarp on the AT, if you can learn to use a dang tarp on the AT, what other hike out there are you going to have to worry about having a tarp? You know what I'm saying? So, and they're not always practical in all the places. I get it. I understand. There's places that concrete pads or wooden pads. There's places it's rocky terrain with no trees. There's places that don't have flat terrain. Freestanding tent is still the best deal. Got it. Clip your toenails before you start trip. Yep. I that off of one of Chase's videos. Or don't clip them like the day of. Let it be whatever. And my daughter Jacqueline put tent coffin when she sees the bivvy and she sees the one I want. She's like tent coffin and go from there. So it looks like that we're lagging there because maybe it'll pick up. Maybe it'll be fine. But so the other day I put out, speaking of bivvies and speaking of tent coffins, I put out that one of the things I would like to have tried on the Appalachian Trail, and if I get the chance at some point I will, is the walkabout swag. And people look up and say, hey, that weighs 3 or 4 pounds. Great for camping, not for hiking. Listen. I understand. I get it. But people, please try to understand. Yes, I'm trying to be one of these ultralight people. I am trying to keep my weight down, and I'm trying to get it down. I really, really am to a point. But at the same time, if there's something I want to try, I'm going to try it at this point. And you say, well, you live and you learn. We try to tell you it's a waste of money or whatever. Listen, the Tent Life Crisis, what up? Woo, there's my boy right there. I got my prayer warrior in here now. Y'all in trouble. Tent Life Crisis in the house. Tent Life Crisis said tent equal barrier to bugs. It does. And you can get like the bivvies that have the mesh on them, and they go underneath the tarp, and that's a barrier for bugs. You know what I'm saying? So, but freestanding tents are the best option. I understand that. I really do believe that. I believe my Nemo Dragonfly one-person tent is not going to get any lighter than that, right? As far as for me right now, and offer what it does. So, but hey, I have, because of the tarp, I have learned some different knots and tiles and stuff for different guys and guy lines on my Nemo to maybe secure it a little bit better so that I don't got to worry about the pole snapping. You see what I'm saying? So knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power. But anyway, back to the walkabout, the walkabout swag, and it's I did 8.5 mile shakedown hike with my full kit, 22 pounds. Learned a lot about myself and adjusting my pack. I'm 65 and loving it. Here we go. Ready? We're going to do some. See, I'm a big WWE fan. I'm sorry. So here we go. We're going to do a little bit of Kobe Keaston. Boom, boom, some trouble in paradise right there for you, right? Anyway, that's the Hulk Hogan goat guy. But anyway, great news on the Shakedown Hike. Glad you're learning about stuff. 65 and loving it. There you go. 65 and loving it. And, you know, and that's what it's about. If you can get out there and you can have a great time and enjoy yourself and all that, that's the main goal of this, right? Listen. People don't think I listen to them, and I do. And I know I've been talking a lot about one adventure here lately, and I've talked a lot about Brock, and I've talked a lot about Chase, and I've talked a lot about long distance hikes, and I've talked a lot about Sparky and Farm Girl, and you know, I've mentioned a lot of these folks, right? And talk about a lot of these folks. People don't think I listen, but I do. And I was talking to one adventure the other night, and he was like, don't get caught up in the whole Mount Katahdin thing. Don't get caught up in it. And meaning, you know, listen, do I want to make it to Mount Katahdin? Yes. Do I want to make it to Mama K? Yes. I'm not going to break my back in a race to get there. If I get there and it's closed, guess what? It wasn't the good Lord's time for me to be there. Can I get an amen? It just wasn't the good Lord's time for me to be there. So what? I didn't finish it in the calendar year. I'll come back and finish it when it opens. It wasn't my time to be there. So, and that's just the way I look at it. I live to hike another day. Do I want to stand on top of Mount Katahdin? Yes. Do I want to finish it? Yes. Am I driven to finish it? Yes. Do I want to prove a lot of people wrong? Yes. But at the same time, I want to have fun. And I don't necessarily got the budget to have the greatest fun of everybody, right? There's a lot of people that go out and they can do the $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, you know, a month thing. I can't, you know. At most, I'm gonna have $900 to $1,000, maybe $1,200 or so like that, and go from there. So, you know, I got to watch what I do. There's some blue blaze that I want to do. There's some, I guess that's what they call it when you know, ride the kayak on the Shenandoah or down the river or whatever. There's some things I want to do. And there's some things that I'm going to get to do. And at the end of the day, like I was telling Donkey Kong, I don't get caught up in the titles of it. Do I want the title of thru hiker? Yes. Do I understand that that's a man-made title? Yes. Well, thru hiker, you can only be considered a thru hiker if you do the Appalachian Trail within a period of 12 calendar months. I'm a thru hiker when I hit 2,000 miles, baby. I don't care if it's in the same calendar month or not, and I don't care who wants to argue and debate me on it, because it's my personal achievement. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Now, do I want to do it within a calendar year? Yes. Am I geared up to do it for that? Yes. But can life happen? Yes. So I'm not wanting to come off as being cocky or arrogant or saying that, you know, I know for 100% fact this is going to be easy. No, I've never said that. I've always said that this is going to be a challenge. It's going to be hard. It's going to be an obstacle. It's going to suck. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. And this is the way it's going to be. I've always said that. And, you know, and if there's things I can do out there that I can have fun and I can learn and do things to prepare me for my next thru hikes, that's what I'm going to do. See what's better. It's going to be nice weather this weekend, so I'm going to Bear Garden Hostel for 2 nights, 3 days of hiking the AT near mile marker 181. Can't wait. Man, you're going to have to get us some video and pictures up that way, right? And everything, and I hope you have an absolute blast. I think the weather was really good in Georgia and stuff down south a little bit from where I'm at. We just came off of a 3-day blizzard. Most of the snow's melted already today, even though today was the first day of not having the blizzard. But as of yesterday, not today, but as of yesterday in my yard, I had about 12 and a half, 13 inches of snow, something like that, depending on where the snow drift was at. But for the most part, yeah, so a minimum of 10 inches. And today it's almost completely gone. So that's kind of how sometimes how it works. We'll get big snow for 2 or 3 days, and then the next day it's gone. So it don't hang around like it used to, but especially this time of year. So we got a lot of people that stepped out, a lot of people stepping out, a lot of people getting ready, and everything. And like I said, I just cannot say thank you enough to Chase Life Namaste. Thank you so much, Chase Life. I can't say thank you enough to Brock. Been solid, man. Thank you. One Adventure. Been solid. Farm Girl. Been solid. Thank you so much. Hike with Mike. Appreciate you. Long distance hikes. Appreciate you. You know, all of you folks that has really helped me out. I cannot stress enough, your advice has not fallen on deaf ears. We have one more live stream. And I know this wasn't like our typical Tuesday thing, whatever. I just wanted to come on here and really just chat a little bit. And it's, you know, it is what it is. We got one more live stream coming Friday night. And that's our subscribers appreciation. And I'm really going out. I'm going out on a limb here. I'm going to be bragging about all of you. This is not about me. I'm bragging about all of you. Because this is what it's about. I have 370 subscribers at any given 5-minute span, because it drops down to 366 and back up. Like, I can't get out of the 370s. It's like crazy, but it's okay. I'm fine with that. It's just like stuck between 366, 370. It just drops down, goes back up to 370. Drops down, goes back up to 370. It's crazy. But anyway, in saying that, right? This Friday's going to be all about y'all in a big way. In a big way. And I'm not going to reveal about how that is, but you have not, and it has not fallen on deaf ears. Man, I'm really looking forward, hoping the Chase gets to come out for at least a day or so of it. I know AT Walk and Talk. AT, how can I miss AT? Man, let me tell y'all something about this dude. AT hits me up, right? Man, I got GGBs, godly goosebumps, right? AT hits me up, and AT says, "Hey, man, I was going to walk the Appalachian Trail this section, but I'm willing to change to come hike with you if it's okay." Man, this dude not only does that, he says, "Hey, man, I know you got a train ticket and all, but it's on my way. I can just pick you up and save you a little bit of money. And we could ride. We're going to have all kind of things to talk about." Cool. You know, so I can't thank AT and Mama enough. Thank you so much for the encouragement, the support. He messages me every few days, either for gear or to say, you know, we're getting closer or whatever the case may be. And, you know, AT, I thank you so much. You don't know how much this has put my family's mind at ease. Me starting with somebody. And yet, I know you got to leave in the amount of days you got. But hopefully by then I've linked up and hiking around other people, keep my family's mind at ease. At some point in time on the trail, I mean, we'll be between two bubbles. I should be able to find somebody, right? But I really want to thank AT Walk and Talk and his wife and his family, his co-workers who want you. Like, I'm not even going to say it, but we're going to get them pictures of what they want to see, AT. It's going to happen. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know, baby. You know. Saying that. But, yeah, I can't. He said, once you start the 18 post videos, you get way more subscribers. That's cool. Like I said, I can't get past that mark. If I do, it's great. If I don't, that's great. We're only like very few. I don't need very many more hours, and I've already got the hours. We just need the subscribers, right? And then we can do a lot more things down the road with this. But in saying that, I just want y'all to know that your advice has not fallen on deaf ears. I know sometimes I come off as, excuse my language, as a sarcastic asshole, or like that I'm not listening or paying attention, or I'm doing the exact opposite of what people are recommending. I'm not. I'm trying to use I'm a martial artist. I'm trying to use the Bruce Lee method, putting everything in and pulling stuff out of what's useful and throwing away the rest and going from there. And I try to throw support to people who's on trail. So thank you for the hearts. Appreciate that. So let's try to throw some support, throw some love out there real quick. B is getting ready to start her Appalachian Trail through hike. If y'all see it before I do, post it, tag me in it. Let's get out there and support her. Let's show her some love. Hiking on a Prayer. She is out there now, right? Let's make sure we show her support, throw her some love. The lovely Lady L, as big as a troublemaker as she is, she's out there. She's on trail. She's got a trampoline. Let's throw them some support. I don't think she's got any of her videos of being on AT up there yet. The only way that even I knew that she was on the AT was with Ramdino. And I'm just going to be honest, I was low-key a little bit jealous because she's already on trail. But I knew she was starting performing anyway. So I'm going to go over here real quick. I'm going to hit this home button. Don't nobody go nowheres. Let's see. Let's go AT 2026 through hike. Because there were some other ones. So I really wanted to give shout outs to different things. Julie Hikes, want to give a shout out to Scott Free Hiking. Give a shout out to Scott Free Hiking as well. And then, you know, there's so many people and so many different things. Like I said, Lisa Lou, can you post their pages in your community posts? Yes, I can and I will. That is, why ain't I thought of that? See, this is like, okay, so yeah, I'm going to do that. So when I get community posts, I'm going to put the links to the people out there. That way y'all can follow them as well and go from there. And that way y'all can click and show them some love and give them support and tell them, hey, Hiking with Jim sent you. And Tent Life Crisis, who's in the chat now. My boy gonna go out on trail. He gonna crush it, y'all. He gonna crush it. I'm telling you. Don't y'all be sleeping on this dude. He gonna crush it, man. I'm just telling you. You know, there's several of the Lisas that are hiking. I don't know if this is one of the ones, but there's several of the Lisas that are hiking. They're gonna crush it. You know, they're gonna crush it. There's gonna be things that's gonna be done out there. So thank you all so much. And like I said, I know this was going to be a little bit shorter this week. I just really wanted to come on here. I didn't care if 100% of you said, no, I don't think he can make it. I do care about the one person that ragged on my mustache, but that's okay. He said, Tent Life Crisis, I'll be right behind you. Brother, you'll probably never catch it up with me. I am like Cecil the Turtle. I'm going to get that rabbit. You know what I mean? So, anyway, but we'll make it, brother. We are going to make it. Like, Tent Life Crisis messaged me the other day, folks. Let me share this with you real quick. He messaged the other day on here, and he's like, it's only a couple, 2 or 3 small hikes, and we're done. And that's the way it is. And I think somebody else had made the comment before to me, only thing the Appalachian Trail is a series of day hikes. That's all it is. So if you're out there and you're watching this, do us a favor. Go ahead and hit that subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know you was out there and watching different things. We appreciate you. We thank you so much for your support. We will see everybody Friday night. Like I said, I know this will be a little bit short tonight. But once again, I got something very special planned for Friday. So please tune in because it's all about you folks. The last subscriber appreciation before we go on the AT is all about you folks. Thank you so much. God bless you. Get your cup of double Java. But you can't have a cup of double Java without a cup of double Java mug. All right? We'll catch you later. Thank you so much. Now do me a favor. Would you take a hike?